Welcome back. In this video, we'll take a closer look at HTML, CSS, why we use them, how they work together, and some key CSS properties that bring website to life. Let's get started. Why do we use HTML? Now, if we look at my screen now, we notice that we have two different website design here. Now, for this particular one, the EcoRoot solution is a well-styled website that has CSS and some elements used for styling. Now, why the one at my right hand side is just the normal HTML website without a CSS styling attached to it. HTML is like a framework of a house. It defines where the walls, doors, and window go. Without HTML, a web page would just be plain, unformatted text. Here is why it's essential. Now, let me move over to my CSS code. So sorry, to my code rather. What we'll have here, we'll have the doc type HTML. It declares the document type so browsers render it correctly. Now for the HTML, here, the root element wrapping all content of the page. You can see, sorry, this is the element. This is the HTML element. It wrap everything inside of our web page. Now for the header, it contains meta information like the link, title, and CSS, the script. That's everything inside of this place. This is where we'll put our CSS styling sheet. This is where we'll make sure we put our script code. And this header tells the web browser what to display. It tells the web browser what to display, where to get our style sheet, where to get our scripts, and meta information about a website. Don't get stressed. We'll get to every bridge particular video or my next video coming soon. Now, moving over to the body. The body hold all visible content heading, paragraph, images, and buttons. So now anything that shows inside of a web page, every single thing that shows inside of a web page is always in the body of the HTML. Everything that you want anything to show on the web page is inside the body of a HTML element. Now, then for the page one, it's called headings. In the previous class, I told you guys about the page one element. Now let me explain something for us. This is the page one. In a website or in a web page, we are bound to use just one of the page one element. That's the heading one. Not that we can duplicate each one of them. We can duplicate this and it will still work on the website. But if you want to do a professional website that will stand out on Google search engine, then it's recommended you just make this page one to be one only. If you want to do something bolder, something to tell the browser that you're making a heading, you just either use the H2, that's the other two element. Let's say I am a web developer. Now, and see the difference between them. This to tell you that it's a second heading, or let's just say a paragraph. But paragraph is the P, but can still make use of this H2. Then we can also use the H3. I am a web developer. See, I also make use of the H4. Sorry. Make use of the H4. I am a web developer. See, and so on and so forth until H6. That's where it ends on. That's where it ends. Let's say H5. Sorry, I am a web developer. Then the last one, which I am a web developer. So you can see the difference between the H1, this is the H1, this is the H2, this is also the H3, this H4, H5, H6, then paragraph. We also have another one to make our paragraph text bolder. Let's say just B, this is a bold paragraph. They are same thing, just that this is bolder than this. So that will be all for that. Now let's just do some kind of styling. Now I'll ask, why do we use CSS? CSS is like the paint, furniture, and decoration in our house analog. It makes HTML look visually appealing. Without CSS, every website would look like a boring text document. Now, how CSS works? How CSS works? Let me move out my CSS code. Now, in my CSS here, we have the selector. The selector is the body, this H1, this P, that's the paragraph. Now, what this does is that it finds the body. This body selector we are having here is, sorry, everything inside of the body they are going to style. That's the selector for body in the CSS file. Now we have properties. Properties are the font family, the background color. These are the properties. Then the values. The values are the colors we have, either the color or the font style we need, or any other thing that's inside of this element. I would like to ask the question, how does HTML and CSS work together? When you load the web page, the browser reads the HTML first, that's the structure, then applies CSS styling. Here is how they connect together. Now we can also use the inline CSS. This is how it works. Say style, then let's say I want to make the color, let's say it should be blue. I just type in blue. Understand? Then I save. Switch over to this. That's the blue color. This is called inline CSS. Yes, it's directly inside of the HTML. Then we also have the internal CSS, which is also inside of the HTML file, but it is coated with the style tags. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll move into the heading. Sorry, let's clean this up. Let me clean this up. Now, this style. Now, putting H1 color. So it's still the same thing. This is called internal CSS. The previous one I showed you guys was called the inline CSS. Now we also have the external CSS. It has a separate CSS file. That is a separate CSS file. Now let me delete this CSS and show you how it's written. I'll create a new file. Right. Let's just say I want to write style.css. Let it be style.css. Remember, we have to clean this up so that everybody will understand what I'm trying to do. Now, first of all, before we write our style code, we have to link our HTML to the style sheet. That's why we start with the tag link, then relation, the style sheet, then href to style the CSS. And we'll save. So now that means it's linking to our CSS, um, linking to our CSS file. Let's see. I think there's an issue here. Just yeah. So now we move over to H1. Let's say color blue once again. Save, and we can see. Now let's say text align center, that moved to the center of the page. As you can all see. Now we are moving over to real world example. Now let's try to give it an example of everything we just done now. Sorry, I'm going to clean this. So now you can follow up everything I'm doing. Let's have a proper example of what we are doing. Before we get started, let me just try to right click, then create a new folder. Then I just give it my first website. Now I have to open the Visual Studio Code. In short, it's called VS Code. So just open it. Now move over to open folder. Click on it. Take you to this place. Then you just go to your desktop. That's it. My first website. Then you select folder. Now we are here. What we do next? Just click on this new folder, or right click. Then write our index.html. So this is how we start the first code. Let me just start with normal type. Then we move to our HTML. Then next thing follows, that's the head. Then we give it our title. Inside of the head, don't forget to put our title there. That's what tells the browser that this is the name of your page. Let's say code with Trinity. Save. You can't see it, but let me take this up a little bit. You can see it, but that's the name of the tab we see. Code the Trinity. You can see it up there. Code the Trinity. So move back to our code, and then we'll do our link, our style sheet linking. With our link, then relation. We abbreviate it relation and style sheet, because what we're going to use is our style sheet. That's the CSS file. It's called style sheet. Then href, that's href to is referencing to our CSS file here, and it's named style.css. So style.css. Save. Is it. So now move over to the body part. After the header, after the head tag, we move over to body. Now this is body. This is body. Now let's say let's give it a header. Understand? Let's give it a header. Start with this header. H1. Welcome to my web tutorial. Now let's say we want to give it a navigation. Sorry, let me just save it so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry. Sorry, I need to remove my CSS file first. Save. Yes, welcome to my web tutorial. Now, back to business. Let's write our navigation. We'll start with nav. Let's start with attribute. Attribute page reference to here put a hashtag here. Then home. And duplicate this. You can copy this and duplicate it. Copy. I'll just come here and change every single thing. This is home. Let's say contact about. If you can see it here, it's not styled, it's just there. So now let's go back. Then let's write our main post. So we'll take in and write main and put in paragraph. Then this this is a paragraph with styled text. Now we'll save. So we are done. We are done for now. Let's switch over to our code. See, so this is it. Now we have to style everything. So we'll create our CSS file. For those of you who don't know how to create it, just right click on your Explorer, then click on new file, or you can also click on this button here, new file, create a new file. Once you create it, type in style.css. Now you make sure that the file you've created, the CSS file you've created, the name rhymes with this thing here, with our link, our yes, our link. Let's start our styling now. So what we have here, we have our body. This body. So we'll start with body first of all. Start with body, curly bracket. Then let's say font family. You can use anything you want to use, any family you want to use. What I'll just go with this. I'll just go with this. Then let's say margin 0. Should I put px? Then let us leave like this. Margin 0. Then background. F5. And let's see what we have here. I see the text has changed a little bit. Then moving over to our header, let's give this next one. I'm going to style the header. This is selector. This is the header we're going to style. Then put it in our selector header. Okay. Background. Maybe color. So remember what I told you about the color. The color is the text inside of the header will change to white. So now let me just change the color to, let me just put color white, then save. Let's go back and see. That's it. So I'm putting color. Let's say our padding. Let's say 20 pixels. Can see a little bit difference here, right? Now, to understand all these elements here, please, I have made a video for it. You can click on this notification above the screen to watch and understand what all these background, color, padding, margin, font family, what they do. Now let's move. We've done the header. Now we're going to nav. This nav. Notice something. Now nav will have an attribute. So now we're going to start the attribute and not the nav itself. Or let's just say we're going to start both of them together. So now put the attribute. Then let's say color should be, since it's already navy, and the navigations are color are blue. We have to change the text to something else. Let's say white. Then margin 0 and 10 pixels. Let's say text decoration none. Okay. Text decoration none. Now let's save. You can see it's now making sense. Now the last part, what do we have? So we start the navigation and the attributes. Now we have the main. So instead of starting the main, we just go and start the paragraph itself. Now let's go back to our CSS file. E font size. Let's see how this thing is. You can see how the text is now. And let's increase the font size to 18 pixels. Then line height. Sorry, line height. Let's just give it 1.6. 1.6. Save. I see the difference between the previous one. Let's go back. Control C. Save. I see. Save. So this is the part. This is the first part of this um particular video.
Now that we are done with this video, I would like you guys to do everything I've done in this video. Do the styling, do the layout, do everything, navigation, header, then send to the group chat so we can adjust every mistake we made.